Welcome back. I'm Nate from Biz Report. First things first, getting an EIN is absolutely necessary for your new company. This single number plays a major role in almost every business operation you will face, and it is issued directly by the IRS. So look, dealing with the IRS is always annoying, and you may be heavily tempted to outsource this paperwork to somebody else. But if you like to do this yourself, this is the exact video for you. When you use the official IRS online portal to get your EIN, the cost is absolutely free, $0, and your approval is instant. The entire online process takes roughly 10 to 15 minutes. If you choose to apply via fax, it takes about 4 business days, and by mail, it takes about 4 to 6 weeks. So I recommend going with the online process whenever you're available to. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the actual IRS website step by step to show you exactly how to secure your EIN absolutely free. I'm also going to explain why this number is such a valid piece of your business foundation, why you need it to open a business bank account, and how to protect your personal assets and tax profile. Before we deep dive into the IRS portal, I need to make a quick clarification. So normally our team here at Biz Reports breaks down LLC formation on a strict state-by-state basis. However, today's topic is specific limitation that we are not going to be covering state-specific formation fees or local LLC quirks today. Why? Because the employer identification number is the great federal equalizer. Whether you're forming an LLC in Colorado, Texas, California, the EIN process is a federal requirement dictated entirely by the Internal Revenue Service. But do not worry, I'm going to explain heavily on how this federal number interacts with your local state requirements, especially when registering for your state-level tax accounts, so you are prepared for the road ahead. So let us start with the absolute basics. What exactly is an EIN? So EIN stands for Employment Identification Number. You might also hear it called a Federal Employment Identification Number or just simply a Federal Tax ID. So think of your EIN as your social security number, but for your business. Distinct, unique identifier that tracks your company's credit and tax obligations at the federal level. Now, technically speaking, if you're a single member LLC with no employees, the IRS actually allows you to use your own social security number for tax filing. You do not have to strictly have or get an EIN. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. In fact, relying on your SSN is a critical mistake because it completely hinders your future business operation and limits your business growth. So as your business evolves, there are 5 major triggers that will immediately require your LLC to have an official EIN. First, bringing in new members. So if you decide to add business partners down the road, your business automatically transitions into a multi-member LLC. And at that exact moment, your federal tax forms change and the IRS requires an EIN to complete your partnership returns. Second is hiring employees. So the moment you bring on staff, it triggers strict federal withholding and payroll tax reporting requirements. You legally cannot submit these payroll reports to the IRS without an EIN number. Third is changing your tax classification. So if your tax strategy shifts and you decide to transition your LLC to an S corporation or a C corporation for better tax advantages, the IRS absolutely requires an EIN to process those corporate tax filings. Fourth, business banking. You cannot grow a business without separating your finances. Most financial institutions will immediately turn you away if you try to open a dedicated business checking account without a valid EIN. They require it to be clear for your financial compliance. And fifth is registering for state taxes. And while an EIN is a federal number, your local state tax filing system will almost always require this exact federal EIN to officially register your business for state-level accounts like sales tax or state employer withholdings. So to summarize, having an EIN is not just a paperwork formality, it is crucial for an effective business management. It is the core tool that aids your business expansion and reinforces the strong limited liability protection for your LLC that is supposed to have and ensures long-term compliance with both federal and state regulation. Now, before I show you exactly how to get this number, I need to give you a massive glaring warning. This is a mistake mistake we see new business owners make all the time, and it causes an absolute nightmare. Do not, under any circumstances, apply for your EIN until your state has officially approved your LLC formation. Let me repeat that. Do not get your EIN first. So here's what happens. You go to the IRS website and you apply using your desired business name. The IRS immediately grants you an EIN for that exact name. Then you go to the state's Secretary of State website to formally organize your LLC, only to find out that someone else already registered that exact name a few days ago. Consequently, the state rejects your filing. You're now stuck. You have to pick a completely new name for your new business, but the IRS has already permanently attached your federal tax ID to a business name that you are not legally allowed to use in your state. So fixing this is a massive back and forth administrative effort that instantly derails your schedule. Because you cannot simply change the name on an active tax ID, you're forced to go through a brutal multi-step loop. First, you have to submit an official request to the IRS to completely close out and cancel that incorrect EIN account. Then you have to start the entire application process from scratch to register for a brand new EIN under your approved business name, and then you have to just sit and wait for the IRS to process everything. This unnecessary waste of time delays your entire business launch by weeks. So always wait for the state to hand you your approved articles of organization before you even think about knocking on the IRS's door. Think of the state approvals as your horse and the EIN as the cart. So do not put the cart before the horse. All right, your LLC is officially approved and you have your state document in hand. It's time to get your EIN online. So note that only U.S. residents and those who have Social Security number or ITIN can get an online EIN. If you don't have a Social Security number or an ITIN, you'll have to get an EIN with Form SS4, and that's going to be in another video, so subscribe. Now you'll go to irs.gov, search for Apply for an EIN online, and click Begin Application. Keep in mind that online EIN portal is only open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. So if you try to get your EIN at midnight on Saturday, the site will literally lock you out. The first screen will ask you to choose your legal structure. This is where you select limited liability company. Next, you'll be asked for the number of members in your LLC and the physical state where the business is located. Once the system shows your default tax classification, click Continue. The very next screen is going to ask you the reason for your applying. And for 99% of you watching this video who just formed a brand new LLC, you will simply select Started a new business. Then comes the identity verification screen. You'll have to input your first name, last name, your personal Social Security number or ITIN. You are acting as what the IRS calls responsible party. The IRS needs a real human being to attach this business identity to ensure someone is actually accountable for the taxes. After verifying your identity, you will input your physical business address. This cannot be a PO box. So once your address is locked in, there's just a few more crucial details that the IRS needs to know about your operation. So now let's talk about entering your official company details, and you need to be very precise here. First, the system will ask you for the legal name of your LLC. A major quirk you need to know is that the IRS system does not allow special characters like periods or commas. For example, if your state approval says ABC Widgets, LLC, you must type into the IRS portal as just ABC Widgets LLC. Right below that, you will see a field for trade name or doing business as. You should leave this field completely blank unless you already officially filed a separate DBA name under your new LLC structure. Next, you'll need to input your geographic details, specifically the county, the state, the articles of organization, or the territory. And make sure these entries match the exact address and state details printed on your approval state documents. You will also enter your LLC's start date, which should generally be the exact month and year your state approved your formation. Before you get to the end, the IRS will take you to a section titled Tell Us More About the LLC. And this is a screen packed with specific compliance questions. The system will ask 5 consecutive yes or no questions regarding your business operation. It will ask if your business sells or manufactures alcohol, tobacco, firearms, if involving gambling, if you operate heavy highway motor vehicles over 55 pounds, or if you need to file federal excise tax returns. The 5th question is crucial. It asks if you expect to hire any employees who will receive W-2 forms in the next 12 months. And if you answer yes to this, the IRS will trigger additional questions asking for the first date of when wages will be paid and the maximum number of workers you expect to hire. Once you clear those questions, you will move to the final section to provide your principal activity. And here you will select a broad category like retail or consulting, and a specific drop-down menu will appear. You must use this drop-down page to specify your business purpose and then provide a very brief text description of your specific services. Then comes delivery method. So you must select the option that says receive letter online. And if you accidentally select the mail option, you'll be waiting weeks for a physical letter. Finally, you will reach the summary screen to review all the information. Now, before you hit submit, you need to prepare for potential IRS system glitches if the system hits an error. You will likely see an EIN reference number, most commonly error message 101. This reference number 101 usually triggers if your LLC name is too similar to an existing entity or if the system fails to verify your data. If you get this message, you'll be locked out of the online portal and forced to file manually. But if your application clears smoothly, the page will refresh instantly and you will be staring at a PDF document called the CP575. This is your official EIN confirmation letter. It is a crucial document for your business foundation, so do not just close the tab. You must download this PDF immediately, save it to your computer, back it up in the cloud, because the IRS will never issue another original copy. Now let's talk about ongoing maintenance. So your relationship with this number does not end the moment you download that CP575 letter. First and foremost, let's clarify how this number dictates your federal taxes. Your EIN will be the primary identifier used in filing your federal tax returns with the IRS. Depending on the number of members in your LLC and how your business is structured, different federal tax forms will apply. And because corporate tax setups can get complicated quickly, we highly recommend talking to a licensed accountant or a certified tax professional to properly sort out your specific tax forms and filing requirements. Next, you need to understand exactly how your federal EIN works when you register with your state for tax purpose. Your federal EIN is completely separate from your state tax ID, and you cannot use them interchangeably. So once you have your federal EIN, you must take this number to your state's Department of Revenue. For example, the Department of Taxation and Finance if you're in New York. The state will require your federal EIN to officially open your local tax accounts. This is how you legally register to collect and remit local sales tax on goods that you sell, and how you set up your state employer withholding accounts to pay state-level unemployment insurance. In short, you need the federal EIN first as your foundation, and then you use it to unlock your specific state tax accounts. Additionally, keep in mind that your EIN is permanently tied to your specific entity. If your business undergoes major structure changes in the future, such as officially changing your legal type, entity, or transitioning to a corporate structure, the IRS may require you to apply for a brand new EIN to reflect that shift. Always ensure your business paperwork stays updated as your company grows. To wrap things up, getting your EIN is a major milestone. It is the moment your LLC officially becomes recognized as a financial entity by the federal government, opening doors to do business banking, credit, and hiring employees. And as we proved today, doing it yourself, it won't cost you a single dime. So here at Biz Report, our mission is to simplify the business formation process and help you make financial choices. But we know an EIN is just one piece of that puzzle. And this is why we have built a complete library of free resources to help you manage the road ahead, including free operating agreements, templates, unbiased registered agent reviews to ensure your business stays compliant from day one. And if you want the step-by-step details of everything we've discussed or the direct link to the official IRS portal, click the link in the description below to read our full guide on bizreport.com. If this video helped you save money today and navigate the process safely, please give us a like and subscribe to BizReport so you'll never miss out on our practical business guides. So if you ran into any error codes on the IRS website or have questions about your application, drop a comment below and our team is always here to help. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.